paying the coach, like, we're doing this thing for a reason. Welcome back, people. Sorry, we're mid conversation. But we're like, I hired you for a reason, so I'm going to do everything to a T. I'm not going to, like, my whole off season. You're like, dude, you could easily do cream of rice if you wanted to, blah blah blah. And I'm like, even if that's the case, and Justin wouldn't care about the switch, it's not what my plan says. So, um, I want to just be able to, hey, here's exactly what I want you to eat, even if it's broken down into like, this is what you need each meal, whatever, and be able to fit what I want to fit in there, because I do want to. I think if I don't do that, I'm going to get to the point where I get every off season, and depending on how this next one goes, like, I can't afford to be in this position, but like, if a few hundred calories a day come from a Ninja Creamy, or I do use more things like rice, cream of rice, or even maybe rice cakes, or honey, or more fruits. Like, I was eating meals of 230 plus grams of protein with 400 plus grams of rice. I don't want to do that 5, 6 times a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how my meal plan was built. And I don't want every single meal to be, something, doesn't need to be something crazy. But yeah, I want the creamy at night, or yeah, I want to be able to eat, like, baked oats and shit. Like, there's so many little things, and I'm going back to my muffins 100%. So
Absolutely.
there's so many little things that I want to
But with
do, and
a
I
better
trust
cream of
myself
rice
now.
now.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I would say this to piggyback on that, because there's a line that I think we are missing from what I do and what you're communicating you want to do. And it's, he's not telling me, like, of course the baked oats has more ingredients that I put into it, and he's not telling me like the exact macros and the exact amount. Like, for example, when I told him I put pumpkin in the creamy at the very beginning, he wrote in the meal plan, pumpkin added here is fine. But because I knew how much I'm putting and I keep it consistent, which was 60 grams, and how many calories is in 60 grams of pumpkin? 20.
Not
But
meant. Yeah.
here's the thing, there are a lot of things that I add to have that flexibility that they're not in there. Before, to my clients, I used to put 200 grams of cooked rice, or X amount of cream of
Yeah.
rice, or like that. In the
Same.
spreadsheet, I don't have those options right there. There's only one option for carbs, but you have the food swap tab that I have in that spreadsheet as well, that tells me what other foods I could do, and he will run through a loom with you when you get to the when you start with when he gets your spreadsheet done. He will run you through a loom, and he will say, like, I don't mind you changing sources every now and then. You can do this to simplify it. And if it's something that you keep consistent, that like it's a switch that you kept consistent and you're not having anymore what says on the meal plan, just let me know so we can update it and we're both in the same page. That's how he approaches it. He doesn't mind the switches here and there because, again, we are experienced athletes. We know how to do macro swaps in the right way, not like rice for cake, for example. And we
I
are,
wish, dude.
I mean, once in a while, doesn't matter. Anyway,
I don't even like
and
cake, but
we are able to make those smart choices, and he trusts our decisions. So if there's anything that we enjoy better, and it could be like later on, because we got tired of, like I said, sweet potato, it wasn't being as appetizing as as pasta, and then he changed it perfectly because it sat
hmm
better, I enjoyed it more, whatever it is. So that is some autonomy I have that I think that you're lacking in there, because you're doing exactly what says on paper. And that's what's holding you in that cage, that lack of autonomy from trying to be so perfect, which I don't think it's a bad thing. But I think is holding you back a little bit from having that flexibility with other things that, again, actually, I would say rice and rice cakes are not the same, because one is brown rice. The rice cakes are usually made with brown rice. But rice and cream of rice, they are both white rice. So why
hmm
wouldn't you? So that's how I think. In my plan, I don't have cream of rice. It says they're white rice. I can screenshot
Yeah.
and show it to you. But I just look at the carbs, how many carbs it is on the dot, and I just convert that from cream of rice. And I do it actually with every single flavor. Am I obsessive? Am I like mental from doing that? Yes, absolutely. He has on the food swap tab that is like, this amount of rice cooked is this amount of cream of rice, to make it simple. But me being the perfectionist, I know each flavor has different macros. I know each brand has different macros for that same amount. So I'm gonna take the extra effort and calculate per flavor
Are you
the exact amount of grams.
are you going to be able to eat more of yours, or are they or like like your flavors?
They're around the same. Yeah, they're all about the same, but it's like, let's say for example, a good example that I can give you, and this depends on the flavor used, is, and I made a video actually, is the cream of rice from Flavor Gang, the peanut butter, has
Mhm.
about one and a half, or I think like two times the amount of protein than the one from Elevate. That is because they use
Mm.
peanuts or whatever it is. So yeah, if I don't track that, then that will obviously
Well,
in the
yeah,
long run will
100%.
show up. So I would
Mhm.
want to make sure that if I do the peanut butter from Flavor Gang, since it's not something I do every time, I'm gonna lower my protein source a little bit,
Mhm.
because 4 grams is not the same as having 12.
Yeah, no.
Maybe it's not once in a while, but still I like to keep things consistent. So this is um the autonomy that you will build. And I built it when I wasn't by my own. I didn't do it with Matt. I learned it on my own. And that I will love to see you have even from before you go to whoever coach you go with.
And
And with
it's not that I can't do those, like, that's not something that I'm not
no, I know
capable
you
of
can
doing
do
or
it,
that
but
I
it's
don't
like you wanna
know.
be the on the plan perfectly, that if it's not there, you won't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not
But
saying,
again,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, what you do makes you feel better and what I do makes me feel better. It's all
yes. But then you
this
told me
comes
you
down
would
to
love
like
to have
a
the cream of rice muffins, but you don't have them because there's no cream of rice on your plan. You know what I mean?
yes, but again, and I only got to that point because I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't at that point. It took me, that was towards the end of my bulk, so I'd say like middle of this year. Say like I
Yeah.
started doing those maybe like June, May. I had been with Justin for a year and a half before I got to a point where I felt like, damn, I can't do this same food anymore. You know? So it wasn't like from the jump, I'm like, oh my God, I really wish I could have that, or I wish I could have that. Cause honestly, for the most part, for a lot of the time, I had, 2 cheat meals a week. I was having soup. Like, I don't need much to like keep me. And I don't like eating and I don't like putting effort into what I cook. So, but now it just got to a point too where it's like, it's exacerbated obviously on prep because I'm
Yes.
fucking starving. But I also am like, I don't know. I know that I'm gonna nail a reverse. I'm gonna, come out like my whole 2 3 month game plan after the show is obviously to stay in incredibly great shape and be, very sensitive, whatever. So the goal would be to be able to, eat a ton of food or have to eat a ton of food, staying in good conditioning, whatever. So I just know that at this point, it's been 2 straight years. My meals have not changed at all. They've just lessened now that they're in prep. And like, dude, I can't do it again. Like, I just can't go back to, exactly what I was doing before. Um, and there was little things that like I definitely could have done, and I made myself more miserable than I had to. Like, dude, when I was eating my post workout meal was like 230 grams of salmon, had avocado in it, and it had like 400 grams of rice. I dreaded that meal every day, pretty much solely just because of the avocado. Hated it. Easily could have switched that fat source out. So it's like now having a little bit more say in what I eat. It's more of me letting go of like, oh, I don't want to put more effort into my food,
Hmm.
because it's really not that much extra effort. Like even this morning, that like the chicken, rice, and banana shit that I ate, like I did that even before, because that meal had banana in it before. I've done that before. I know it's good and I like it whether I'm in the off season or not. It's little shit like that really doesn't take. That took 3 minutes extra in the air fryer. It's like doesn't take that long.
Yeah, no.
So just little stuff like that. And I think there are so many. Like I saw this guy post yesterday where it's like bananas, eggs, uh, probably baking powder. I would assume you need that in there. Um, berries and maybe a little bit of almond butter or something. But they basically just like mixed up fruit, eggs, and shit that's in our meal plans already,
Yeah.
and made like these blueberry muffins that looked fire. Like little stuff like that. You can make so many things
Yeah,
with
absolutely. You need
shit
to be
that's
a little
already on
bit
your meal plan.
creative too.
Yeah.
But to your
And I'm not.
point for
I'm not with the food. I think you enjoy cooking a little bit more to where you have a lot more creative side with the food. So it's like it's easier for you to make yours fun. Whereas for me, it's like now obviously we have the internet. I can just go up there and search shit, but I don't even like think about it. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
damn, I got fucking, salmon and rice and avocado. Whereas now I'm thinking, dude, in the off season, it's funny. I bought these now they're big bowls because I know I'm gonna need it in the off season. But I also they came with chopsticks and like I'm gonna do sushi at like just with like what's on my meal plan probably, or sushi bowls with like tuna and salmon, that kind of shit. It's like that would be fire. You know what I mean? And I can
Yeah.
eat that every day.
So that is something that even I do, but just as like a little change. So I think I will give credit to your 2 cheat meals a week for not wanting to put that extra effort on the rest of your meals. I never
That's why I
had
did it.
two
Yeah.
free planned meals, two yeah planned free meals a week. I've never had that.
Hmm.
I had the option if I want, and I still have like you can have one free meal a
Yeah.
week. That's perfectly fine. But sometimes I don't feel like it. So what I would do is, look, I wouldn't eat ahi tuna or salmon or like sashimi salmon every single meal every single day. Obviously, first of all, mercury. Second of all, my bank. Um, but one time I just made sure like the macros nailed, and I just did like an like a poke bowl for one of my meals. That's
Hmm.
it. And then also, like you said, I would do things what it's in my meal plan, unless it's like very little calories. Like the cocoa powder that I use is like 15 calories, and that's plenty. I can actually cut that short in half. The pumpkin, 20 calories, stuff like that. But for example, the muffins, I didn't do them as often because, first of all, the time, and second of all, it takes more ingredients than just a little bit of pumpkin. We tried it, and you need to add the egg. You probably need to add like a little bit more pumpkin, egg white, stuff like that. So it needs more change that I really don't feel like doing. I'm just making
Yeah.
all the macros. If it needs a lot, if a meal needs a lot of change, I would not do it as often. But again, cream of rice or rice, easy. Baked oats or
See, like
regular
that
oats,
meal,
easy.
when I was making those muffins, like that meal, I had rice, I had eggs, and then obviously the
Yeah,
things
for you
like
it
the
was
baking
easy.
powder, the cinnamon, that stuff's 0 calories. So you can put that in there if you want to. That meal had fruit in it. So like everything that I put in there was already in that meal, in that certain meal.
So
So
for
that's
you,
what I
you
mean.
said
Like
easy. Yeah, I would
if
have
I,
to make more changes.
yeah, and that's like if I get like if I have like a base meal plan that's like my regular, just kind of like what I was doing this last couple years, meat, fat source, rice or potatoes, and then I have kind of like that mirrored image of that meal, just the fancy version, which is like whatever I want to make it into, whatever. So that's kind of how I want to do things after this. But regardless, I mean, I don't think I will have too big of a problem. I've built so much, like even if I had to do it the way I did it the last 2 years, I could still probably get it done. It was really the salmon. The salmon was what got me, bro. I couldn't
Yeah,
do it every
I
day.
can't do
At some point,
salmon.
it was horrible. But dude, I speaking of like the bodybuilding stuff, I posted something this morning on TikTok that this is what I said I wanted to talk about. And I think we've spoke about this before, but I posted something. I saw a video, and this girl was like, you know, fit model division is the new wave. I've coached like 4 women already, and they got their pro cards in their first season, and literally saying like, this division is geared towards like the people who don't want to get super skinny for bikini, don't want to put on a lot of muscle, and like all I'm hearing is these divisions are for people who don't want to try as hard. And I made a video about how I think these divisions are bullshit. And like, there's the show that I did before. They added the summer shredding. They added a I don't remember what they called it, but it was basically men's physique, but the fit model version of men's physique. And it was really geared towards like, hey, like naturals do this, do this, whatever. But at the end of the day, like the standards for these, and we've talked about this before too, like pro cards are getting handed out left and right. Like they do, in my opinion, they do a little too much in that regard. And like, I don't even have a pro card yet. Like, make it harder. That's fine. Like, it's supposed to be hard. So it's like it's already been irking me the way that bodybuilding's going and the amount of physiques that are on stages these days, 20 weeks out. And I was just basically saying, like, dude, you guys are pussies. Like, you don't want to do the work. You don't want to. Bodybuilding is supposed to be something that's extremely hard. Not many people can do. You're taking your body to an extreme level. Like, dude, that's what bodybuilding is. It's about being jacked and super fucking lean. Why are we putting in these inclusion divisions, in my opinion, for just to hand out more awards? And I get it, money, whatever, but goddamn, like it pisses me off. And I had a couple girls who were like, fit model girls work just as hard and blah blah blah. And like, dude, let's look at it. You don't have to be as lean. You don't have to have as much muscle. It's literally geared towards people who are less than those in those upper elite levels. By definition, you don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
So even though it might be you worked hard for your standards to bodybuilding standards, you basically just did a normal fat loss phase like a normal person would and lost 10 pounds. You're not even, you know, at a good, even an earshot of body fat percentage, most of these people to get on stage. And if you are, like, to why, if you look great, why even do one of those divisions? So just like, I don't know what your opinion on those are, but they piss me off big time.
So I actually saw there's a trainer at the gym I work out at that she used to do bikini, and I saw that I think she got her pro card, but she did a fit
Fit
model,
model.
and I'm like, she looked amazing for bikini. Like she did
Hmm.
get the conditioning needed. She did work as hard, and I see her in the gym. She works very very hard. So I'm not gonna be here discrediting that all fit model competitors train like hard, half-ass their training, because clear example, she doesn't. Um, However, there was for me no need to switch that division and be less conditioned, because she proved that she was able to make it, that she has the work ethic and
That's what
everything.
I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
it's like in one perspective you're actually hurting yourself, because if you can work that hard, if you can make that, and if you want to have the muscularity that a bikini girl has, which I just feel it's the same, it's just like fit model is just not as lean, but you
Yeah.
still require some sort of shape and muscularity. So why would you just cut yourself short and do a fit model? I don't know why someone would do that. I understand, like you said, the point of making that division and helping bodybuilding be a little bit more mainstream and more, let's call it, for lack of better terms, gen
Popular.
pop friendly.
Hmm.
But then again,
Exactly.
like you said before, bodybuilding is not meant to be gen pop friendly.
No.
Bodybuilding, like if you go back decades ago, bodybuilding was supposed to be the freaks. It was supposed to be like a wow
Yeah.
factor.
Marcus Rule. That type of shit.
And we're talking men, even for women, they were supposed to be like more muscular. And I like the bikini division. I just feel a lot of
Hmm.
the bikini competitors are dramatic as fuck. But anyway, I
Yeah.
like that division, and I feel it's a great starting point. And for just competing, it doesn't need to be super, like you don't need to be like completely lean or super muscular. Like obviously if you want to take it seriously you want to, but just to test the waters, as I did with men's physique, you don't need to be like already a national level
Nope.
competitor. So you can still do like a fat loss phase, push the envelope a little bit, and see how really what really takes to make that level of competitiveness, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
So I think like with the amount of competitors, it's around the same. But now that people don't need to work as hard, and I mean, we've seen the same, at least here in muscle contest shows, and you probably see it as well. People just think like they do a 6 week fat loss phase and they hop on stage, or even older people are in, like they have a belly hanging and they just pull
I
some
hate it,
prongs.
dude.
I fucking hate that. I
I
feel it's just
hate it.
disrespectful. Fuck how proud you feel about
Exactly.
the how proud you feel about losing 5 pounds. You do not. You should not be
You don't
stepping on that
deserve to be
stage.
on a bodybuilding
No,
stage.
that doesn't mean like you
And
need to jump in. And just to finish my thought, I think if anything, they should make it harder because yeah, the amount of competitors showing up, it's absolutely insane. I have a
yeah,
girl
dude.
that I'm helping right now, a client, and she told me that her goal was to step on stage for bikini. Thank God. And I love that goal. But when she already said that, I'm like, all right, I can already see myself staying up to 10 p.m., which I happily do so. But then again, even with my friend's girlfriend that I helped not too long ago, they already had a fit model division in it, and they told me like, dude, they did not finish until like 10 p.m. or something like that. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I know.
fuck,
The shows
dude.
are going so late.
People want to go to bed. People want to go celebrate. We don't want. No one
Yeah,
wants
by
to
the time you
stay
get out the
there.
show, no restaurants are open, nothing.
No, just like us nasty ass bars that are
And
like,
I'm sorry, but dude, I don't want to watch your fit model like it's not exciting. There's no like, oh, okay, there's a bunch of average physiques on stage who barely know how to pose. Great. Like you said, you can do your entry level show at a local show. You're not going to see any crazy insane physiques probably depending on where you're at. If you do it a small local show at, you know, bikini or men's physique or whatever. But I think the biggest part that makes me upset is I think you would probably agree, like the man you are right now, a lot of it was built not because of, oh, just lifting some weights, but like just like as bodybuilding as a whole. At least for me, it has shaped me into the person I am indirectly, directly, all of those things. Like I would not this prep, just like last prep, like I took a giant leap up, which is crazy to look back now because that giant leap looks about this big. But like even this prep, like you feel yourself like mentally getting stronger and more capable and become all of these very crucial like habits and mindsets and personality traits that accrue because you have to change in that way to get through like this prep way harder than my first prep.
hmm,
There's been things that I've had to push through that I now am just that much better, that much more mentally strong, that much more consistent and disciplined. So it's like you don't know what you're missing out on by shorting yourself by choosing to do something that is less hard. Like bodybuilding is not just about, and this is why I say all the time, so many people get into bodybuilding for the wrong reasons. It's not very little about just getting on stage and showing off a physique. Everything that happens to make a great physique, like only you know those changes, and that's why it doesn't matter. Like for me, like I said in the YouTube video I'm going to post here soon, like dude, I fit like physically. There's no way for me to lose this show. It does not matter because one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to win, and awesome, cool. Yeah, that's just going to be more motivation. But boy, if I lose, it's wraps for y'all. You know what I mean? Like
hmm,
it's going to be that much more fire. It's like when you have that mindset and you know that like as long as you nail shit and you suffer and you do what you need to do to get to that extreme point, that's the win. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of competitors lose every single freaking weekend, when it's showtime. So it's like there can only be a couple winners, but it doesn't really matter where you place as long as you can be on stage and know in your head like I literally could not have done anything else. Like there's nothing I could have done more. And then it's like it's super easy to take the loss if you do lose because it's like mentally you've already won. At least that's how I feel. That's how I felt in my first one at least. Of course, if you're good enough to where like maybe you're fighting you get second place or something, that's going to sting a little. But overall, like like that I didn't miss any cardio. I missed no food. I didn't cheat on my diet. My sleep was great. I took my recovery serious. Like every box is checked. I can't be upset. Because at that point, you beat me just because you're simply better. So I'll just go get better. And I already know how to do that. So that's the biggest thing that I don't like because people miss out on like those character changes and they come off stage and like I, I talked to a dude at the gym the other night and he was like it's his first show. He's a natural, but he's got some muscle on him. But me and his coach were kind of talking and just like kind of showing him the reality and the difference between where his conditioning is at versus like mine.
Yeah.
He was like, this is just a different level. Like you've got to get to this level and be disciplined to do X, Y, Z. And he ended up telling me before we left the gym, he was like, man, he was like, after the show, bro, I'm about to eat, I'm about to go crazy, blah blah. And I told him I was like, dude, you don't want to do that. Like that is the worst decision you could ever make. And I kind of told him like what I did after my last show. Like I put on like 20 plus pounds in like 19 hours, bro. I mean, like I ate like a fuck. And you know what happens if you do that, and you also know what happens if you nail the reverse and you come out of it clean. So like I kind of just explained that to him. But there's so many people with like those mindsets, and I just don't think I don't think bodybuilding is for you until you don't think like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't think that the finish line is unless you're like, I'm gonna do this one show and I'm done forever. But if that's not you, like this is year round. You know what I mean? So
I would argue that perspective just because being realistic, like
that's funny coming from
90,
you.
yeah, 95% of serious bodybuilders, they binge after a show. It happens. Like it's just depends on how hard it was mentally, depends on how you feel after the show, the emotions after the show, or the emotions leading to the show and your mental state leading to it as well. And
Is that something you
like,
see yourself doing?
bro, I said before, like I'm excited for my reverse after my show, and I was 15 pounds heavier coming Monday, and I had like a fucking probably was like a histamine reaction up my ass on that weekend.
What number show was that for you?
Second,
So what do you think? Because like
like
for
the
me,
first one, I guarantee binged, like consciously aware of what I did. The second one, I didn't binge precisely, other than, well, I didn't say like binge, but the one like it was like more consciously that went a little bit overboard was my breakfast on Sunday. But the rest, I think the weight gain was from dehydration and that allergic slash histamine reaction that I had. Dinner, I just had a more bread and butter than I expected, but didn't have dessert, didn't push it. Um, but then again, it's just like even the biggest of the pros guaranteed have binge on the first couple shows, or at least the first one, and
that's fine. I did too.
guaranteed
But that's my
have
thing.
gained 15. Like Nick Walker told me, like, bro, I used to gain like 15 pounds the weekend of the show, but then the rest of the day goes down. So is it is it okay to do? No. Will it happen? Most likely, yes. Like the
Yeah, of
thing is,
course. I
like
mean,
as
I
soon
did my
as,
first show too.
yeah, the thing is, like, of course you want to control it, obviously, but I wouldn't say like bodybuilding starts the moment like you stop binging. No, bodybuilding starts the moment that you decide you want to do it. Yeah, you may slip here and there, but it's gonna happen way often than a normal person. But slips are still gonna
Well,
happen.
and yeah, but also two things. Number one, I wasn't just saying like the day after the show. When I say year round, like, dude, you bodybuild year round. You hit your meals every day,
Oh
year
yeah,
round.
no, that I
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like, for the people who like will do that. Number one, dude, I did it too. You did it. I can't imagine you not, you personally, I can see weaker minds. I know for me personally, I know what that did, and I'm not doing that again. Like whether there's big time bodybuilders that binge post show or not, I will not ever feel like that again. I will not ever blow a fucking reverse like that again. I wouldn't call your second show, yeah, you had a reaction and this and that, but like from the sounds of it, you've had your after the show meal and you had maybe a little bit bigger breakfast than you should have on that Sunday. That's not very much. I'm talking about the people who are like, dude, after the show, they immediately, their family hands them a big fucking brownie from that one company and they fucking smash that, and then they go to the, they got all the protein bars from the vendors and they eat that, and then they go out and they have dinner and they have, fucking cheeseburgers and milkshakes, and then the next day they go out and get donuts for breakfast. And this is what I did. And though that's what I'm talking about, you can't do that. And if pro athletes are doing that, well, great, then I guess I'm going to have a better habit than a pro athlete. Like, that's not going to, in my head there's only the reality. And the reality is I've already done it. I know exactly how it's going to make me feel and look. I know exactly why I shouldn't do it, and I know exactly what I'm going to do to not make that happen again. So that's like, I don't know. Just because other people do it, why would you want to feel like shit
Yeah, no.
and put a damper in your reverse? But again, those people who don't even try to care about that are the same people who are going to be like I was the year after my first show, where I fucked the reverse. I did a show when I shouldn't have. Financially, I was fucked afterwards. I went zero. I moved the needle zero with my physique. I looked like shit by the end of that year. It just led into a whole downstream effect. So it's like, spend one more month in your and tell yourself in your head, like, I'm gonna have to suffer for like one more month after the show. Get yourself back to a good spot. Be sensitive, and then you'll probably be that person who gets to have the couple cheat like that. That's what I did when me and Justin cut last time, right? I got to like a 6 week out mark, and then we kind of reversed out of it. But like, I kept things extremely on point. Obviously, that's a lot less deep than a prep, but I kept things super tight. Like, that's when I had 2, 3 cheat meals on the week and like all of those things, and I was still lean, and like I would go and have fucking 15 rolls of sushi and be more shredded afterwards. Like, obviously by the end of bulk that wasn't the case, but
Clearly.
but for a while, I was still in a good spot. So I don't know. That's my mindset on
Yeah.
it. But
I would say that for me, in my case, I didn't binge that weekend after, but that prep dug out. I would say that because bodybuilding did not give me eating disorders. However, that prep dug out disorders that I already had that I haven't recognized from prior. That's how it is, motherfucker.
mm-hmm,
Bodybuilding is not giving you eating disorders. You already had those from the
yeah,
very beginning. You just now discover
mm-hmm,
them. But yeah, it dug out the eating issues that I spoke about on the previous podcast that
yeah,
then I had to
mm-hmm,
address, and it took me a while. Like I'm telling you, I like it took me up until I was working with Dom, so pretty much
mm,
almost a year to fully address and fully become aware of those, and then some more to be able to fix them and overcome. And so
mm-hmm,
it that's what I'm saying. Like it can happen even to the most dedicated person. Like you told me last podcast, like you would not imagine I had eating issues. Like I
yeah,
absolutely had it, and you reminded me of that one thing. And I will. I'm not gonna blame and avoid responsibility. Of course, I was the one who did the things, becoming aware. But after my first show, I would say that the fact of being coached by an old school bodybuilder coach, as well as being surrounded by people who did not know the repercussions of binging, I would put
mm-hmm,
that more on the shitty rebound that I had. Because, of course, old school
mm-hmm.
was like eat big to get big, right? So, you remind me actually of the family and friends bring you a tray of brownies. Well, what first of all, as soon as I finished the show, I had one of my cookie dealers, which is already 1,000 calories. Right after I
So
showered,
good.
they're so fucking good. Right after I showered, we went to Shake Shack and I had two double burgers, loaded fries with cheese and bacon, and a milkshake, Oreo, obviously. Right after that, we drove back to Temecula because this was in San Diego,
This is
and
show one or show two?
oh, one, my very first one, which was during COVID, pretty much, or
Okay.
after COVID. Right after that, everyone was waiting for me and my coach at a winery where they waited me with a bucket, a literal bucket full of candy and chocolates. I'm talking Snickers, talking Whoopers, like mini Reese's Pieces, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Oreos. Like I'm telling you, they were handling me those like in a bucket. Here, we got this for you, and I did not even think about it. I knew nothing about the repercussions that would come thereafter.
That's the thing.
And hey, I again now it's good because it's becoming more mainstream about what things can happen if you do these things.
Mhm.
But then it wasn't a thing. Very little people knew
Mhm.
about it. Very even less people spoke about it. And of course, people that are not involved in the sport will know nothing. That's what
No.
people think, that oh, your family and friends should know better. No, they are not going to know better, and don't
Why?
expect them to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not involved in the sport as you are. They're just supporting you, and they saw what you had to go through and how much you said no to these kind of treats. They think of something as normal, so they want to see you enjoy them because they know that you probably like them, but they don't know
Mhm.
that you don't want to. They don't know the problems that could be. So one thing is here that happens, and you'll be like, hey, I appreciate you, but I'm gonna hold off. I don't want that. I'd rather stay with my meals, and them supporting. Now, if you told me they keep insisting and they fail to understand and support and accept your decision, then that's something else. That's when they are
Mhm.
not ignorant without conscious, but now they are choosing to stay ignorant.
Yeah.
That's my rant.
Yeah. And I think what you said, like, oh, I didn't even know. Like, that's a good point. And that's why I said, like, yeah, if that happens once, once or whatever, like your first show, like that's for most people going to happen. But I think, at least for me, and this goes with literally everything, once I understand why, and it's the same way I coach. Like, if I tell you to do something, you also get an explanation of exactly
Yeah.
why. Because why are we doing things? We don't know why we're doing them. So it's like, yeah, it's very easy to do when you are in an environment that allows that, that maybe not encourages that, but, is like, oh, this is the norm. And it's kind of like the same, like, oh, like old school what they would do to like refeed and those kinds of things. Like there's a lot of those things, like if that's your environment, then yeah, you can't solely blame that just on you. But I think once I either go through it or learn it in depthly and know this is exactly why I shouldn't do this, it's very easy for me to not ever let that happen again. And I think that's why I am have gotten more and more into like the interested in the functional health side of things alongside of or outside of the bodybuilding stuff, because that kind of coaching is an explanation for like why everything happens. So it's like it's very easy for me now, all of the things that I do that some people might see as overboard and oh that's like that's doing too much extra whatever, or even like you who's like like you can have some switches in foods, and like in my head it's like okay, I know exactly what these things are going to do for me. I want to do whatever is going to be the ultimate best thing for me to do. There might be a few options, but if this one's 100% best and this one's like 80%, I want to choose this one. So yeah, I don't know, once you make the mistake, you now have should learn from it and then be able to not let it happen
Yeah.
again,
What?
because I don't ever want to feel
How's the
like that.
phrase that goes? The first time is by chance. The first time, the second one is a choice, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Which is
absolutely.
true.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
hundred percent. Another thing that I remember that I wanted to mention was Matt after my show. When I was having those little binging eatings, he told me, and I think he told this to many other people because I saw it also as well. It's like food will always be there.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was unable to think that, but until he reminded me. But it's like true. Like if you really want something that you're eating that is super tasty, you don't need to eat it all in one sitting and eat it like right then and there. Like you can perfectly wait until next weekend and have it again. If
Yeah.
you really liked that burger place that you just had, you don't need to have three burgers back to back. Just have one, maybe two, if you have the room and that doesn't make you extremely full, and go back next weekend and have it again. Same with
Mhm.
pizza. You don't need to have five pizzas. It's like-
Yeah.
and a lot of people,
And
and I used to be one of them. Yeah, it's like, oh shit, I want to have more of this because who knows when I will have
mhm.
it again. And then, oh, but shit, I want ice cream still. Like, let's go. There it goes.
And what I kind of tried to explain to the guy I was talking to in the gym about this too was like, because this is how I'm thinking about it right now. Like, just I got a banana added to my fucking first meal. That like
Heaven.
it didn't matter that it wasn't ice cream or chocolate, or it was just as satisfying. right?
There's
So,
something about bananas that when they're added to your
well, and
plan,
I put cinnamon on them, and I put 0 calorie, a little bit of
splendid.
0 calorie brown sugar
Oh,
stevia.
oh, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that shit was fire. But you are going to be in that state post show. So, but the only difference, your taste buds do not change. The only difference is you now don't have this imaginary restriction in this cage of I can't. Now there is no show if you don't realize what a good reverse can do for you. So there's no goal, there's no you've already crossed a finish line in your head. And so that cage, that door opens and it's like you've been locked in a room with no phone, no internet, nothing. It's just white walls and a door you can't get out of. And that door finally opens up. Your first instinct is going to be to run out that fucking door. Or you can understand, like, dude, if I go eat, like, even if after my show, dude, I have fucking cream of rice with, some almond butter in it and like some whey drip on top or something, and like those bananas, like, that is going to be that's gonna taste fucking insane.
Bro, do you
Some
want me to
five
tell you
calorie whipped
what is
cream
the
on top,
first
like
thing that I had after my second show?
steak and rice.
No, no, no. As soon as I get off stage, I mean,
Mm,
or as soon as I got back to the hotel room, I had a
what?
cold ass cookies and cream protein shake with ice, like make it thick, and water.
Ew.
And I had pineapple and coconut.
Yeah.
Like, oh, mango too. Like we bought like coconut chunks and then like sliced
Yeah.
pineapple and mango with my girlfriend the night before, or probably like 2 nights before we went to the store. And I had that, and I could not tell you how fucking sweet the fruit was. That it was like I was in heaven. Like fuck ice
Yeah.
cream, fuck chocolate. Like I was having
Yeah.
pineapple, and I'm like, that's delicious.
Yep.
Like
And that's the thing. You're gonna feel like that. So it's like you just in your mind you feel like, oh well, if I go eat fruit instead of this milkshake, I'm not gonna be as satisfied. Promise you, you will. I
yeah.
promise you.
And I will add that the moment you give, if your friends are waiting you with like a cookie or a donut or a brownie after your show, you are not setting yourself for the best. Now, is that
Yeah.
gonna be like a guarantee you're gonna fuck it up? No. I've seen like even the most dedicated pros that they just get like a donut or a bite of like a cookie or whatever and they're completely fine. But you
Yeah.
are not that pro, you are not as dedicated, and your dopamine receptors and your neurotrans- neurotransmitters are not as controlled as that person. So you are more likely to fuck it up because you just got a taste of sugar, which is like white powder, not to, I don't want to be banned, which is like white flour for your taste buds. So I would recommend you hold on or just have a bite and then keep it away. But the first thing you eat right after you step on stage should not be sugar. My love of God.
Fat cookie with fucking
Like
100
processed
grams
sugar.
of
You
fat
can
and a bunch of
actually, you should actually
no.
have fruit. That will
Yeah.
guarantee
Fruit, maybe a
satisfy
little
your,
honey.
yeah, that will guarantee satisfy your taste buds. Your body that will not tell the difference. It's only your brain.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
wait, hold on the on the actual sugar, on the shitty sugar. Have some real good sugar, and then you will be in a much better spot, and you'll be able to control yourself instead of going all haywire on the candy and shit. So,
Mm-hmm.
and also
Yeah.
hydrating.
That's it really can be pretty simple. It's just people don't have, and that's like, dude, if I make it through a prep without cheating ever, and not like, dude, I got the self control to not smack a 1,200 calorie cookie or brownie after the show.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not gonna happen. And I felt like shit. I mean, oh my god, I was bloated, constipated, all types of shit. It was horrible.
And now there's Retta, which can help even more.
My
Like,
last shot will be a week out. I'll be off
that
of
is
it.
something I would absolutely have for right after the show.
Yeah,
100%.
it would be good for sure.
Yeah. Like, of course, not. I'm not gonna pin right as soon as I step down stage, but I will probably do my first injection the day after
Yeah,
because I can control myself for the first night, for the first like weekend, easy. However, the next week where you said like you are out in the freedom, like you're out of the box, that's when the things get challenging, especially if you don't have any
Hmm.
goal in mind or anything to aim for. Like you have nothing. You
Or you
just,
drop your fucking coach.
or you drop your fucking coach. Like you are just out in a wide ass field with nowhere to aim, no destination to go, and you just know that, yeah, I want to put a muscle for my next show. Okay, how much? When's your next show? What are you gonna do? Like that is just a bland white ass goal that makes you, that gives you no next step. It just gives you like, okay, I know the rocket is gonna go to the moon. Okay, like how are you gonna get there? You know what I mean? There's a lot more variables that you need to be, that you want to be as specific as possible. And of course, the coach does play a big role in that. And you should have a clear goal set for after your show. You should have a clear plan already in your hands for you to start after the show. Your coach
Hmm.
should not be saying like, "Oh yeah, we'll talk on Monday after the weekend and then see what we're doing." No, 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 no. That conversation should have before peak week. This is your
Yeah,
plan after the show. This is what you're gonna do on the weekend. This is the plan that you're gonna start eating on Monday, and this is the goal we are gonna aim for the first 4 to 6 weeks, which is probably a health phase if you use PDs, or it could just be like still a health phase even if you didn't,
yeah,
because
but a
even
reverse.
worse. Yeah, just to set up for success and not having you just wondering on what you're gonna do. Like you know what the next steps are and why are you gonna take those steps forward.
Well, and bodybuilding teaches you how fast time moves. When you're a month out from starting your next prep, you're going to be real upset and think, damn, why did I waste 2 to 3 months post show? Why didn't I just stay stuck in for 3, 4 weeks, put myself in a good position? And because those gains, like once you go through that, handful of weeks health phase and you're back into pushing training and you feel good again and things are rolling, you can make a lot of progress from then until the next time you whatever. But like a year when you're talking bodybuilding, not long. That's
Unless you're
not a
Sydney
long time.
Sweeney.
I am not, unfortunately. I am
That's funny,
not.
man. And also, to finish, to wrap this up, is what you do on your rebound will dictate, first of all, how hard your next prep is going to be, and
Yup.
also how long your off season is going to last. Because if you already are 20 pounds heavier a week after your show, then your off season is not gonna be
You're
very long, my
fucked.
friend. You're gonna have to do another mini cut soon enough. But now, if you're 3, maybe 5 pounds tops on the week after, 2 weeks after your show, oh, then you're in a very good spot, and you're gonna grow like a weed.
Yeah. And that's like, I hate myself for it too, because it's like when I got with Justin, I posted that picture the other day. It was a fat fuck.
Hey, you are a fat
And,
fuck.
like now looking back, we had to spend from January to May not being fat and cutting. And I grew a little bit during that time, probably, maybe some, but like wasted. Not wasted, but could have been if I was just came to him in a better spot and handled my shit before that like I should have. We probably wouldn't have had to do too much of that and I would have had an extra 5 months. That's a
Yep.
lot of fucking that's a lot of progress.
Yep. Because you're compounding from what you've been doing the previous months.
Exactly. And so that's why like there's no way in fucking hell I will let that slip this time. It's just not going to happen. Especially now and like every morning I wake up at a new low weight and I'm more and more depressed every fucking like I can't wait for the prep where I'm like stage lean and not hating myself. That's going to be sick.
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know, dude. I feel like, dude, if you're Derek Lungsford or Samson Dowda and you're fucking stage lean and you're 260 to 80
I
pounds, you
can
can't really be
guarantee
that
you
upset.
they still feel like they're not good enough or they don't look as they should be until show day. Because when you're
But
like
at least
fat
you
and
feel
strong,
like, damn, I'm still big though. You know, if I'm
mm,
260 plus lean, I don't care. I will feel big. Maybe not big enough. Maybe not the biggest, but I will feel big.
all right,
You know what I
I
mean?
can give you that. Yeah, right.
You'll
Well,
feel pretty
that
fucking
was a good 50 minutes of bodybuilding. Now,
yeah.
I do want to mention, I think I told you about it. The movie Predator,
Hmm. I
bro.
tried. Kaylee said no,
What?
so I have to go watch it myself.
Go watch it yourself. Why did Kaylee say no? She doesn't like action movies or shit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Her exact words were, "I don't do that sci-fi shit."
Well, a good time for you to spend like self care or whatever. No, seriously, that movie was. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, I was like, dude, you told me it
No,
was
no, 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 no.
good.
Out of 5, out of 5.
Who
So
the
like
fuck scales shit out of 5? What the fuck is that?
for movies, I guess a 5-star rating, whatever it is. Okay, 1 out of
I
10.
guess, okay.
I will give it a 9.2 out of 10. I will give it that.
Why?
The first of all, I love personally when they mix like that serious action packed sci-fi movie with a sprinkle of funny scenes. Just to like no, no,
Oh,
no, no, no.
I
But no,
hate that
it's not
shit.
like someone does something stupid, but it fits perfectly. And it just like makes you laugh. Like there's this little animal that starts copying what the main guy does. Like you know how when the ducks they mark you or they mark their okay something like that. So the little this little shitty monkey starts copying exactly the things I do, and it's like funny. It's like a good cut on like that chill time when they're not tearing guts apart and bloody and things. It's like I love that
That just
that
gives
little
me
break.
what's it called? Marvel movie vibes. I don't like that.
No, no, it's completely different. It's a good break.
We'll
Trust
see.
me, you will like the
If
movie.
I
And then
if
besides
I waste
that,
my money, you're paying me back.
I will give you the money back. Then it's a good story, good clear story, great ending, good cliffhanger at the end, and I don't know. It was just like entertaining all the time. Like there was no point where I'm like, all right, when's the next action part? When's the next?
Hmm.
No, no, no. Everything was very well timed and proper length. I would say. You know when scenes kind of like drag
Yeah,
along. Like yeah, no, there was nothing in that. I really enjoy it all the way through. Absolutely.
we'll see. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Post prep. I don't even want to move right now, let
I think
alone
like
go sit in a
going
movie.
to the movies on preps is phenomenal because you just wasted 2 hours and they went by so fast. You gotta eat
I just
before
have
and you gotta eat after.
unfortunately have shit like,
Yeah,
dude. That's like making sure that I don't like yesterday. Full check-in day. I started putting. There's some people on Thursdays now too, but Tuesday's like my packed day, and it was just like, dude, I barely made it through. I mean, barely. Like, and he pulled my methylene blue, so I don't even have that to help me focus. So I was just had to fucking thug it out. But yeah, other than that, like everything is such a challenge, bro. I took a Epsom salt bath and got my legs rolled out last night though, so they
there
don't
we go.
feel as jello. But still, it's like fuck. Today's a rest day, thank God. So I just got to make it through till Friday because right now my meals are beef, eggs, and asparagus, just beef, and before today, a tiny fraction of rice, chicken pre workout, and then post workout was ground beef and another little tiny fraction of rice. And I had like some coconut oil sprinkled in. But Friday, I'm doing Friday and Saturday, no training, no cardio, only 6K steps. My protein gets pulled down, but my carbs, like my pre workout carbs, tripled. Actually, more than tripled. My post workout carbs tripled, a little bit more than tripled. My third meal, I didn't have any carbs in, and now I have 300 grams potato, 100 grams of banana, and then my last meal will be another almost 300 grams of rice. So I have 580 plus 350 plus 325, then some orange juice, some fruit, a lot of carbs added that day,
Yeah,
or both of those
little
days.
peak
So
mock.
Friday and Saturday are going to be a very good day. And then my training session
Did he tell you to
after,
pose on those days at all?
he didn't say, but I'm going to, even if he told me not to, I have to. I'm gonna definitely pose and get some videos of that.
because it very
Huh?
motherfucker.
I was gonna say you cut out.
It sounds
You're good now.
like a mock carb up. So what I
Probably.
would do with people is have them pose like a couple rounds of posing with
Hmm.
meals, and maybe not necessarily send me pictures after each round of posing after a meal, because there's that for some people that's some stress. So unless it's like a very competitive bodybuilder, but um
Hmm.
just to mimic that show day and see how your body does with the food and your digestion, your stomach and whatnot.
Should I even got more carbs today? I'm gonna do that. Like after this, I eat my. I only have one meal to. My new meal plan only has one meal with no carbs. So like after today, like when I do my posing later tonight, that's another reason I didn't do it super flat this morning
Hmm.
because I'm gonna wait until I have a little bit more carbs in me. But dude, after seeing the pictures I took the other night, last night, I'm not really worried at all about my conditioning anymore. I texted Justin. I said, dude, I wish I could send you these pictures. I was like, but my glutes are striated like a motherfucker. And he goes, I got tons of those pictures. Just send them. It's like, bet. But like,
I,
just no,
I
yeah,
also
no fat
have
left in my
pictures
glutes.
of I'm like facing away of the mirror, obviously, but I'm like butt naked and just squeezing my butt cheeks, and you can clearly see the almond or pumpkin shaped glutes. Like you can see every single
Oh,
thing.
I'm gonna take one in the tanning tent and I'm posting that. I don't give a fuck.
I didn't have that, but oh, the tanning with the sock.
I don't have to do that though.
Yeah, I know. That was
Just undies.
that was an experience.
Yeah, it's so gay.
I don't know if I would say it's gay, but it's definitely something
Mm.
uncomfortable.
Hey, I want you to go hang out in this room, get a spray tan, and you're gonna have your cock out with a bunch of other dudes with their cocks out.
But you're
That's
gonna
gay.
only cover it with a sock.
Yeah, it's gay. It's
Hey, at
okay.
least the women that were tanning were like good looking.
That makes it even worse, kind of.
You don't have any food or energy. You're not gonna get in a boner. There's no way.
Dude.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm gonna be transparent. The last few weeks, that was not working. Like it was
I'm not gonna
not
lie.
happening.
I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't for me either. we'll just put it this way. I've gotten one out. I've gotten one out. And that's all I have energy for.
Yeah, people. I laugh when people ask, like, for example, in Fuad podcast, that some people are like, "Are you even worried about getting a boner on stage when with those training chantos?" I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
it,
right.
it doesn't even. First of all, it's not even working by that point. You're so depleted. Second
No.
of all, you're not even thinking of that. Like a
Yeah, no.
woman can stand in front of you, butt naked, tits out, blasting, and you're gonna be like, "Excuse me, I need to
Get the
pose."
fuck out of my way. I'm trying to
Yeah,
flex, bro.
exactly. You're the camera. You're in the way of the camera. Like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But no, it's like that ain't working. But on the first weekend that you get food out, everything comes back alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like
I've liked it though because mine was it was way too high, annoyingly high.
you're what?
Like the libido
Oh,
beforehand,
yeah,
it fucking sucks. Like it's bad. So it's like annoying to the point of like that's too much.
yeah.
I want it to be healthy, but this is too much.
You know that I never got that high libido with any of the drugs that are
That's
supposed to make you
crazy,
like.
bro. Mine shoots through the
No,
fucking
I've never got it.
roof.
Like for me, it stays pretty normal. But I also never got many of the things that like the trend rage or the halo rage or stuff like that. Like I've never got those. I
I've
was
never done those
completely
things.
fine.
So.
Trend is fun. Halo, I can't remember if I felt anything. It's usually used to give you
Mm-hmm.
that last
Yeah.
push, because that's why you feel the anger. Like it helps you push in the thing. But then some people take
Mm-hmm.
it to a very extreme and snap on a grandma. I actually heard a story of someone snapping on a grandma. Seriously, this is awful.
I know a guy like that.
But I never got any of those. I remember I was able to push, but I never had that anger that like I'm snapping on everyone. Um,
Yeah.
I'm just if I get mad or grumpy or whatever, it's just because the energy is low, the food is low, and you're asking of me too many things. Like I'm sorry, I don't have it
Yeah.
in me. um,
Yeah.
or you really did something that pissed me off, and of course I'm a little bit more sensitive, so like please behave. But
Yeah.
yeah, I never got those. I neither the huge positives or the huge negatives. Thankfully,
Yeah. That's not a bad thing
the only
either.
thing I'm getting is a fucking receding hairline.
Really? You think? I don't. It feels like I don't feel like your hairline hasn't changed.
Maybe a little bit. I know it gets a little thinner by the end of the push phases, but I don't care about it honestly. I'm like, I made my
Mm,
peace. It can go away. Then I'll be like, ah, well, it was good while it lasted. Boo-hoo.
I don't want to lose my hair,
Don't,
bro. I
if you
like
don't
my
like me,
braids.
don't look at me.
Facts. That's how it has to be.
It's like, what am I gonna get? It's like I literally cannot control it more than I am controlling it right now.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna get mad because my genetics
Exactly.
are like that? I was like, ah, fuck it.
That's the mindset.
I want if I want to fix it. Oh, how do you like the Coke? The lime one, yeah,
It's pretty damn good.
yeah. The vanilla success.
Yeah, that shit's
It's
horrible.
just a regular vanilla Coke. They just changed the label. It doesn't.
Terrible, terrible, terrible drink. Waste of my money.
Yeah, I didn't like it just because it was the same one and it was disappointing. I expected something else, but
Mm-hmm.
the flavor itself, I do like it. But I was like, I'm not buying that shit.
Yeah. No.
A&W is still
Me
good.
either. It is. I agree. I can't wait to have ice cream floats
You know?
after.
Oh yeah. You know that I never did. I don't care for. I hate ice cream floats.
Oh, I love them. Little root beer, vanilla ice cream.
No.
Yeah, bro.
See, I don't
Shit
like root
smacks.
beer in general,
Mm.
and because of that, I'm not trying an ice cream float. But
Well, there's
maybe
your
with the
problem.
vanilla would taste like the ice cream sundae. But I could actually. I don't know. I just like that. They
Oh
don't sound
yeah,
appealing
that's
to
gonna
me.
be fire with that one.
Yeah. It doesn't
That's
sound
gonna be
appealing to me.
gas.
It's not something that I will like. Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Teach their own.
I'd rather drink my soda and eat my ice cream separately. Do you know one thing that I never had and I always looked appealing?
Hmm.
Banana split.
Yeah.
Like how they look in the cartoons, they split the banana in half and they put the ice cream and then yeah, I never had it. It looks amazing, but I just yeah,
Mm. It's not that crazy.
really? Oh.
Not really.
Hmm.
The fudge on the chocolate fudge on it's the best part.
For that matter, I just rather have brownie, like a hot brownie with cold ice cream. That is
Hmm.
fire.
Same.
What is the best
Yeah,
dessert that
I
you
can't think
had?
about that.
Yeah. What is the best dessert that you had that is like shows a lot in like cartoons and shit? Because just to give you a preface on this, in Argentina, that's the only place you would see this American desserts, just from like movies and cartoons and stuff like that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a massive like dessert guy,
Hmm.
so I like ice cream, but that's really it. I mean, I'll eat a brownie here and there, but I don't know. I don't have any ones that from shows that come to mind.
I'm just talking like even the simplest shit. So, for example, pies, typical from shows
I'm
that
not
they
a
put
pie
it on the
fan.
window and to cool off, and someone comes in and
Yeah,
grabs it.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, that's true. You're not
That
a fan
it,
of pies.
yeah, I'm not a fan of that or cake. Like I don't like cake or pies or like cupcakes. I'm good. Those things are just like not. Nah, it's
Cup-
too much.
Cupcakes are such a waste.
Yeah, they are.
Muffins, okay. Cupcakes, ugh. Just make a cake.
Not a fan. Not a fan of either. I don't really like the icing or the frosting or anything.
Hmm. I know there's one specific cake in Argentina that is absolutely delicious, and I cannot wait to have it. And it's a very Argentinian thing because it uses Argentinian cookies.
Mm-hmm.
You can think of it as like kind of like a tiramisu style, but not
Okay.
precisely.
Yeah.
Just because I'm saying like we use the cookie, we put the coffee on the cookie, like just to make it a little bit moist, and
Yeah.
then the filling, and then like another layer, like 3 or 4 layers like that. It's not like super huge.
Yeah.
It's like yay
Yeah.
big as much, but it's just so fucking good. I need to make it. I can get
Yeah.
the
Sounds
things and I
fire.
can make it here easily, but I will consciously and fully aware destroy that tray. Like absolutely binge the fuck on that tray. And I would be
That's fine.
extremely happy.
Here and there is all right.
Yeah. Post show. Okay. goes to shit everything we spoke about for the first 15 minutes.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anything else you want to cover on this one? I think we got
Nah,
this
this
out.
was a good one, man. It was a good man. I'm gonna eat and enjoy the rest of my rest day. I've got a lot of editing to do, so
Same. I
including
might
the
just hope
last
my stomach
podcast.
didn't growl in screen.
Yeah, same.
All right, brother.
All right, well, shit. Appreciate y'all for tuning in again. We will be back
Episode
next week.
19.
Yes, sir. I
Or
stopped trying to say it because I never remember. No, last one was 19. That's got
yeah.
to be 20.
No, last one was
19. We never know. We never know.
we shall find out when I put the title.
When you come back next week, you'll find out.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. We out.
Peace out.